Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network. The summer of drafting is over, Tyler. And now we switch right into our wheelhouse, and that is betting sides, totals, and player props in the National Football League. Tyler put it in the chat. I was late. I was on the road. Kind of crazy, Tyler. We got a summer storm. We're not used to that here in California. And I was a little late getting home, but not going to be late to hit these sides and totals, Tyler. How are you doing, buddy? I mean, the drafting's over, and now we just got to pick the winners and who's going to go off. How are you feeling about this week one? Have you looked at the lines? I got a lot of things I'm targeting already.
Oh, yeah, I've looked at the lines, looked at some props. It's going to be a fun week. I mean, we haven't even missed a beat spread, even from draft season to now the regular season. We're starting late. You know I got to bust your balls for a minute about that. So,
dude, I apologize so bad. Like, I totally screwed that up. I've had a long day, but
it's all good. I know you're busy, so I just got to mess with you, just like we did in the draft show. So, but it's going to be a fun week. I think there's a bunch of winners on the board for week one. And before we even get into football spread, just because we started late, the show's probably going to run an hour. I want to give you this bet because I don't want to be celebrating this bet if it wins at the end of the show, because this guy's probably going to fight right as the show ends. Dana White Contender Series fights are on tonight. Mm-hmm. Tommy McMillan, I sprinkled it. Not a lot, just a little bit. Round one knockout. Got it at 19-1 if you want to join me on that, just in case. I don't want you to see me jumping around over here at the end of the show. Go, what's going on?
All right, let's see. All right, yeah, this will be our thing. Let's see. You got 19-1. Let me see what I got here. And while I'm looking this up, kind of just give me your overview of how excited you are for week one and maybe things that you're looking for this NFL season, like season long, not just necessarily this week.
Yeah, I mean, super excited. I think it's going to be a great year. I think certain teams are going to regress. I think there's going to be certain players that break out that a lot of people aren't going to see. And I think some of these teams might be downright awful spread. And I think a couple of the teams that people think are going to be bad might even steal a few wins. I think there's a possibility one of these very bad teams steals a win in week one. So it is very interesting to see what's going to happen here this year. I want to see how Hurts looks throwing the ball more this year, because I don't think they're going to run Saquon a lot. Not a lot, as I say. I don't mean it as a lot. I mean it more as he's not going to take that same workload he did last year. I want to see how my Steelers look. I want to see if Cincinnati can put it together after playing their guys in the preseason. So it's going to be a fun year. I want to see if Stafford's back holds up. If his back holds up, then they're live in the NFC.
All right, I'm going to look something you set up there right now. I looked it up earlier, but I did not memorize it. Let's go over what happened last year at this time. We not only had underdogs in week one last year. I know small sample size, blah, blah, blah. But it just shows how much we get addicted to our priors, a summer of all consuming the same information, right? So last year, we had 4 straight up victories, Tyler, not just covering the point spread, straight up victories. So against the spread, underdogs were 7-5-2 in week one, and that's against the closing line. Straight up, New England Patriots beat the Cincinnati Bengals, and we talked about that all season long. That might have been the game that kept Cincinnati out of the playoffs.
Yep.
Cincinnati was 1 game out. So you don't think they could have redone that week one with the Patriots team that if let me see, check notes. What did they draft? 3rd overall this year? Definitely a winnable game for the Cincinnati Bengals. And remember at this time last year, Tyler, we had no idea about Washington. I remember, and I'll pat myself on the back. Meg was so worried that Jaden Daniels was going to get hurt. So worried about Jaden Daniels, right? Little did we know that not only would he meet my expectations, he would exceed those expectations. But the Commanders were an underdog in week one, and they defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Another one. Wait, what? The Rams were underdogs to the Vikings? That's not right. The Vikings beat the Giants. This is what happens when you use AI, Tyler. I pulled this up and I'm going on the AI overview. No, the Vikings beat the Giants last year to start the year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember
I hope the other information I gave out was correct. What
I always remember.
How is
I
AI
remember
taking our jobs, Tyler?
my shtick last year was if Sam Darnold gets attacked by Brian Burns and Thibodeau in week 1, then they probably weren't going to win a game till like week 8. And I had to sit there and just keep telling you he was a fraud.
Listen to me.
Until I finally
keep going
got him.
over. Yeah. It took you till week 16. Finally, and like I said, this wasn't right before because this should have said Vikings over the Giants because I don't know if they closed as dogs, but they definitely were underdogs at some point. The Texans beat the Chargers as 2.5 underdogs. So, fun. How is AI taking people's jobs? The Rams did beat the Vikings. I remember that on top of my head. Yeah, all right. Steve's in the chat says the Panthers played the Saints week 1 last year. It was a bloodbath for Carolina, right? Because I had 2 weeks, Tyler. I'm telling you. Gary, what's his name? Not Gary Kubiak. That's his dad. Clint Kubiak was the new offensive genius. We had him penciled in for a bunch of head coaching jobs, and then we saw what happened. Steve also said, man, that Pats loss is so incredible. Think about people thought Mayo was going to be a good coach. And, what's so funny is that I actually think he had the tools to be a good coach. I think he stepped in too early. And we had criticized.
Just while we're on this topic, did you see what happened to their old coach yesterday night? I don't think college is going to treat him pretty well.
Oh, did they jump out to a 7-0 lead?
They scored on their first drive, and I don't think they got
not again, right?
They put up like 70 yards on their first drive, and I don't think they put up another 70 yards until garbage time.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know a lot about college football. I do a show college football, and I use my friends' picks. I mainly handicap NFL, NBA, and this lovely sport of tennis. But you don't get any tennis takes from me here today. Though I got plenty to say about that. But yeah, tough look for Belichick. But maybe you can turn it around. We've seen some other teams look pretty bad in week 1 of college football, and it's not like it was years ago where that eliminated you. They could definitely bounce back. So some room for improvement there. But boy, have we ever seen this where a pro coach can't succeed in college? I've seen it the other way around, right? Saban did very well in Miami, right? That's interesting. Steve, if you're still with us, let us know what you think of Belichick's loss and if we're drawing too much of it or if maybe the game has passed him by. Tyler, any other overall thoughts? Of course, what do we want to do? Do we want to do any season-long bets right now and then go into the games, or are we ready to just dive right into the games and we can just some season-long bets?
Let's have some fun. We'll just run through the awards. We'll all pick a winner for the awards. We'll start with MVP.
Great.
Who's your MVP for the season?
Including odds, CJ Stroud.
Okay,
if I had to place a bet, give me the bet on CJ Stroud. If we're just choosing to be talking heads like Skip Bayless, I'm picking Lamar.
You get handed a free bet for all these.
But I want the odds. CJ Stroud at 20-1. Give me CJ Stroud. I think he's going to bounce back. I think that's a great pick. And Houston's schedule is not that tough.
No.
So the idea that he can bounce back, put up some big numbers. Of course, this fits in great with my Jaden Higgins 65% narrative or whatever our exposure ended up being for Mr. Jaden Higgins. And of course, I do think that they improved their offensive line, better guard play. That's going to help CJ a lot. And I think the run game should be a little better, maybe not right off the bat. But as Mixon gets healthy and Woody Marks grows into be a good player, Chubb's going to be a great goal line back. I think this, because we talked about these, you're going to have to win the division to be a top 2 or 3 seed, right? Joe Burrow, if the Bengals were, 14-3 last year, I think with those numbers, he's the MVP. But unfortunately, they were, I believe, 9-8, and they didn't even make the playoffs. So that kind of eliminated from this conversation. Who's your MVP pick, Tyler?
Yeah, you lined it up for me. Win the division, probably be 1 or 2 in the conference. Going to look really good. I think he throws the ball a little bit more this year. Give me Jalen Hurts at 20-1. He was live to win it 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And he got hurt at the end of the year, or he would have won it. And then I believe it went to Mahomes that year. The year after that was when they lost their coordinators. He didn't look all that good. Last year, we know what their offense ran through Saquon, and they were up in, I think it was 13 straight games where he never, I believe he never had to throw a pass trailing in the game for the last 12 games. They just never trailed. So if they regress a little bit and they lessen Saquon's workload, I think Hurts can throw for close to 4,000. He'll have you double-digit rushing touchdowns. I think they win their division. I think they're going to be the 1 seed in the conference. I think 20-1's wrong on that. I think he should be listed with the top guys.
All right. I love both of our picks. And a reminder, these 20-1 long shot picks are brought to you by fanspeak.com. Please make sure to give a thumbs up as well as subscribe to the channel and check out fanspeak.com, $34.99 to become involved in the Substack this entire year. I believe Mike Robb asked this question last week. I have the definitive answer. They will be doing some DK, DraftKings DFS during the week, but there will be a subscribers only show, and that's going to come on Saturday, where they detail the best ways to attack the DFS betting slate. Oh my gosh, a dog just showed up at my house, Tyler.
Like a dog?
Just a dog in my on my deck right now. So, Jasmine, can you make sure that Panko's inside? I want to make sure my cat's inside right now. All right, next question that we got. What do you want to do, Tyler?
We're going to move into offensive player of the year. Who's your guy there?
Okay, so that's going to be a running back, right?
Not
I mean, it's not a quarterback award always, right?
No. This seems to be the MVP award for anyone not a quarterback.
Or not skill players, right?
So, the best running back.
It's almost like I'm just choosing who's going to be the best fantasy player this year.
Yeah.
Boy.
Or did they reward Chase for not giving it to him when he triple crowned last year?
Yeah, I think that's a good option. I was going to go between. So here's the thing. Do you think record matters for that? Because I think CeeDee Lamb has a great chance, but I don't think the team's going to be very good.
I think record does somewhat matter. You kind of got to think it came down to Saquon and Jamar Chase last year. You had to pluck hairs. One team was good, one wasn't.
Yeah. She's inside? Okay, great. Jeez. I kind of like, let's go 2 Atlanta players. Let's do, a bigger bet on Bijan, and let's throw a little sprinkle there on Drake London. And I expect him to get a ton of targets this year, and we've been targeting him in our drafts. Who are you targeting for NFL offensive player?
I will match your 40-1 shot on Drake London with my own 40-1 coming from Green Bay and your former running back, Josh Jacobs. Addition to Michael Parsons, going to look really good, probably playing with the lead most of the time. He's been a bell cow. We know he can take the workload and put up a lot of numbers. If they're a 1 or a 2 seed, he's going to be up there for that award too, and he might just end up with close to 15 touchdowns on the year. So I'll take a long shot on Josh Jacobs.
All right, Josh Jacobs. Next award that you'd like us to predict. What do you got for me, Tyler?
Defensive player of the year. And I got a really long shot on this one for us. So I'll let you go first, and then I will go with mine.
Geez, I really think that TJ Watt's the best defender in the NFL. I just worry about his ability to stay healthy. Speaking of steroids, did you see The Rock?
Yeah.
That's going to be TJ Watt when he retires. Oh, man.
Before you give your guy on this award, one thing I want to note on. The quote-unquote big, I would call it, 4 in TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, and Bosa. I wouldn't put Hutchinson in there yet just because he's still so young. They've all won this award already, except for Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
And
he's going to get so much more fanfare being involved in that trade, right?
Yes.
And he's going to be involved with the winning team. Unfortunately, what's the payout there?
5-1. He's the favorite.
Okay. Let's put a small amount to cover your stake on that one. So like a 0.2 unit. And then why don't you give me a long shot, Tyler? Can I be a homer? Max Crosby.
16-1 on your guy. I don't mind that.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I mean, I think that if you're not going to put too much involved in this, just go with Parsons. But if you want to have some fun too, and maybe, just cover your stake or do a little bit of drifting. I like Crosby, man. I really think this. I said this last year too, so who knows? I don't think that this is going to even be an awesome team. I don't even know if they make the playoffs, but I think they're going to be better than we expect. And I think that with Tyree Wilson kind of developing, maybe it gives a little more hope there. And Kuntz returning Crosby to get some more single teams and put up some huge statistics. Who do you like in this one?
Drum roll for this one, Spread. We're taking a long shot, and we're going with a team that we've targeted with these awards before, and it's based on their schedule being so easy. Schedule easiest. No, he's only that's where he's not the long shot for me. He's only 15-1. It's kind of a long shot. He's not even the best defender on his team, Spread. Let's back up one level. Let's go with Fred Warner at 75-1.
Ooh, here's my concern for that one. We're going for he's got to just kill it on tackles there, right? And
got
just
it.
Get 7 or 8 sacks.
Well, he doesn't got to kill it on tackles. He's literally just got to repeat what he's doing on tackles. Get us some sacks. If he can get us an interception or two and get a couple touchdowns or a fumble recovery for a touchdown, he's going to plug his name in here. He was top 3 in voting in the last 4 years. He can put together a season that can really make that 75-1 worth it.
Yeah, and there's an argument amongst 49ers fans here in Northern California that he's the true most valuable player of that defense. So, Tyler, don't want to pat myself on the back too hard, but I think we're off to a great start here. Any other awards that we'd like to discuss? Or we're going to go talk about our favorite rookie?
We have 3 more awards. Yeah, so we'll go offensive rookie of the year first. Where you going, Spread? We all know.
Ashton Jeanty.
Yeah, plus 250. It's not the worst bet in the world.
But I think betting wise, I think we need to choose a long shot. So let's talk about all these rookies that I've loved targeting. Boy, you should have heard all the roasting I was getting at my home league draft on Sunday as I just kept taking rookie after rookie. Who do you think would be a nice long shot rookie here? I'm thinking it would probably be okay. Boy, there's a lot of good options. You got to think Tet's got a good chance, right? He's going to get a bunch of target share.
12-1's not a bad look. Matthew Golden at 22-1's not a bad look.
Yeah, I kind of like at those prices. I kind of like Golden better because they're both in that number 1 role, but Golden will be a better offense.
Do we just plant our flag even deeper on the Jaden Higgins train at 55-1?
I don't know about that. Speaking of Jaden's, though, what about Jaden Blue? What's his number?
Jaden Blue is 75-1. I got a guy, though, just named starting wide receiver for your team at 100-1. And Dante
Thornton?
Yeah.
That'd be wild. All
yeah,
right. Well, those one guys, you got to do 0.1 units on those.
Yeah, but my honest pick for this, I'm going to Marion Hampton. I don't think Najee's going to be 100%. I think he's going to get all the work. I think this award's going to come down to him and Jeanty. Jeanty's plus 250 on a worse team than Hampton. And I'm getting Hampton at plus 750. So I'll take Hampton.
Excellent. I like that pick a lot. And, we talked about it, because let's just say Jeanty and Hampton have similar numbers. Chargers are 11-6. The Raiders are 8-9. It's probably going to go to Hampton. What do you think of Mike Robb's bet? Least valuable player, Trevor Lawrence at minus 105. Are you going to join Mike Robb for least valuable?
It's not a bad look, but we shall see on that one. There might be somebody that beats that.
Who? Sam Darnold?
Maybe, yeah. You never know. Defensive rookie of the year, though, Spread. I mean, it's going to be very hard to beat Abdul Carter at plus 185. I think there's one guy on my radar that I think that could take him out.
The Niners rookie?
Nope. One of the Baltimore rookies in Mike Green at 11-1. Another edge rusher that was one of the better edge rushers coming out of this draft class. On a good defense, it's going to be a high-ranked defense, probably a 1 or a 2 seed in the AFC. He can get double-digit sacks just like Abdul Carter can. He can beat these guys off the edge. So I don't mind taking the 11-1 on him.
What's the name? Forgive me my ignorance. I didn't prepare for this one, but the name of the Niners rookie, he went 11th overall. And because Bosa's already there, I just think he's going to get a superb matchup all the time. What's that young man's name? And do you have odds for him?
I believe it's Michael Williams. I'm just confirming that. Yeah, Michael Williams. And he's also 11-1. So don't hate that either.
That's it? Okay. I thought this was going to be a bigger long shot. So I guess the other people are on that as well. So, okay, cool.
And our last award, comeback player of the year.
Oh, this isn't a real award.
Do we just lock? But I think this is the easiest one. Do we just lock arms on Aiden Hutchinson? Double-digit sacks probably wins this award.
Sure. Because it's not a real award.
Dak's record's probably too bad to win it at 3-1. CMC at 3-1 feels like he's probably winning comeback or not comeback. He's probably going to win offensive player of the year over comeback player of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Lawrence, he's not winning it over Aiden Hutchinson. JJ McCarthy's the only other one at 9-1, and he would just have to play and he would have to put them right back to where they were. I think
and he didn't get like injured in a game that's so memorable. Like, you know,
yeah, but
we all remember when he went down.
It would still be the whole like how they changed the criteria for this award, and it's like you have to get hurt to win it. They'll say, well, he tore his meniscus, missed his whole rookie year, and he came back, and the team never missed a step, and they swapped quarterbacks. So, but I think it's Aiden Hutchinson's to lose.
I'll tell you one man who I will not be betting on, and this will probably be the last time we mention his name this season, Darren Waller. Tyler, are you ready to switch gears?
I'm ready to switch gears in 1 split second. Let me give out the 63-1.
Okay.
All the favorites for the defensive awards. Give me Aiden Hutchinson, comeback player of the year, Abdul Carter, defensive rookie of the year, Michael Parsons, defensive player of the year. I think that's a nice ticket to have in your pocket.
I love it. Oh, and just so you know, while we were talking, I can't even bet by knockout. Offshore, I only get just the winners and losers.
Oh, that stinks.
But I'm rooting for you, buddy. Rooting for you. All right. Dude, this has been a while since we did this.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's see how well. Let's see. Let me shake this rust off a little bit. All right, Tyler. Thursday night this week, the Dallas Cowboys head to Philadelphia to take on the defending Super Bowl champion Eagles. Tyler, this line was about 6.5, 7 all summer when they opened the lines up. I mean, boy, I can't even remember when they opened them up now. It feels like it's like almost May that we get these lines. 6.5 to 7 was pretty normal. It just felt like, you know, people would every time it went to 6.5, people would snap by it right back to 7. Now with the trade of Micah Parsons, I see this at 8. I believe if you like the Cowboys, which hint, I kind of do, I would wait and get more points. The other thing I'm thinking here, Tyler, and we might have to do a little more look into this before we make this official. If I like the dog, do I just want to take the first half here and just, you know, think that they can keep it close at the beginning and then the Eagles pull away? So maybe I should be looking at some of that +4, +4.5 for the Cowboys first half here. But boy, we saw it, man. It was a chalky season last year. And I think this really comes down to, you know, it's so weird because normally we don't cap motivation in week 1. But this is a weird scenario where I think we might have to. How does this Dallas team react? I know that, you know, Dak Prescott, if you read the quote, he said the right things. But if you listen to his voice, it didn't sound like he necessarily believed it as he was touting the company line with the departure of arguably one of the best. Well, not arguably. He is one of the best defensive players in the league and arguably the best defensive player in the league. How are you approaching the Cowboys versus the Eagles? My guess is you're going to have to talk me out of taking those beautiful, delicious, luscious-looking points.
I think you better off taking points in other spots this week. I just think this could be one of those ones where it's like it kind of lines up where it's like, oh, maybe the team's got a little extra added motivation. They want to show they have still some fight in them after the trade. But this wasn't like what we normally see with these spot spread. This wasn't a disgruntled player that demanded his way out for months and months and months. Yeah, he requested a trade, but
none of us believed it. I didn't believe it.
No, he was trying to work out a contract behind the scenes the entire time. Even after he was traded, they talked about how many times they sat down and tried to get this contract done. He did not want to leave Dallas. No. I don't think that rubbed the locker room well with him being moved. So I think, and the other thing is, I don't think Philly's coming in with a quote-unquote Super Bowl hangover here. The team's not even going to be on the field for banner night.
I mean, technically the Super Bowl hangover goes to the losing team, not the winner.
Yeah, and they have already said they want no celebration. They're not even going to be on the field for banner night. They don't want to talk about last year. They're focused on this year. So,
I mean, they have to be. That in that town, it's a what have you done lately town. They're not going to care. They won the Super Bowl last year. They start 0-1.
8.5. I think if you covered, I think it's one of those ones where you're losing the entire game, and late in the game, you get a touchdown that goes, that got me to 8, and I survived. And I don't want to be in that spot.
We've talked about this all off season. Who's got the offense for these backdoor covers? And what's one of the reasons we like CeeDee Lamb even before Parsons?
Yes, but if Philly's up 20, what can they do? They could sit on the ball, milk the clock with that run game, and now all of a sudden you don't have enough time to come back. Yeah. I don't want the points here. 8.5's a little too much for me to lay. I think Hurts lights them up through the air. It's just their defense. They're not going to get much pressure on Hurts. their run defense is half what decent, but they've been able to keep Saquon out of the end zone. He ran for 160 yards against them, didn't find the end zone. But these wide receivers are going to get open against Bland and Diggs, who are these guys that like to take chances and go for pick sixes. Devontae Smith's number, I think, is too small here at 54.5.
Dang, that was my pick.
Oh, sorry, spread.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I think of all my Philadelphia Eagles props, so give me Devontae Smith. A.J. Brown didn't spend a lot of time in there the offseason. And at this point in their careers, Brown's slowing down a little, and Devontae keeps getting better.
Yes. Like I think Devontae at 54.5 is too low. I like his anytime touchdown
low.
Also. Mm-hmm. I think Hurts over 1.5 passing touchdowns at plus money is also a good spot to be. And I just think the Eagles win this game. Maybe we go for one of those fun same game parlays that we used to do with our guy JJ. Remember, we used to take the alt spread and move it from, say, 8.5 down to 2.5, and then boost the total up into the 50s and do a little same game parlay that way. I know every sports book in the nation right now is offering boosts, and they probably don't have max wagers on them. So that's one way to get in on the Eagles.
All right, a couple more thoughts I have on this game. I talked about my Rookie of the Year candidate earlier. You think Jaden Blue hits pay dirt early? What are the chances of a Jaden Blue anytime touchdown? I'm seeing 4-1, right? I mean, A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley's minus 165, I believe.
Doesn't it worry you, though, that like
100 for Jaden Blue?
Doesn't it worry you that they kind of go Javonte to start and maybe Miles Sanders?
I think you're getting 4-1.
Maybe Miles Sanders is the guy that kind of comes in and gives him like the little break for a minute. And they kind of just hold off on Jaden Blue because him and Miles Sanders are both coming into this week banged up. Mm-hmm. So maybe they try and hold off on the rookie and keep him safe for later in the year. So
that price just jumped out to me at 4-1. There was no other.
I don't hate doing spread.
What?
What can we get? Let's see. George Pickens is at 55, his yards. If we alt that up to say we'll go 60. We'll just go up 5 yards. And go under his receptions, and he just gets 3 long catches for 60 yards, and we get a nice 5-1 ticket on that.
All right.
How many times have we seen him put up that stat line?
Yeah, that's a great way to do it, the non-correlated parlays. Steve says, I like both the Hurts and the Barkley lines, and I assume he's talking about rushing yards over. Steve is cautioning me against my Jaden Blue pick. Say Blue's still coming off the sprained ankle. I'd be shocked if he got more than 5 to 10 snaps. And rather than Jaden Blue, he thought I should target that Philadelphia linebacking core and go for a Jake Ferguson anytime TD. Hard to argue with that. I just, Tyler always gives out the long shots. I was just trying to fit into the party. Tyler, my final question for this Thursday night game. It seems to be a general consensus that this Dallas team has a good offense and a bad defense. That usually screams over. However, my question for you is I want to play an over here one way or the other. Do I play the full game at 47.5, or do I just play it safe and take an Eagles team total over? And that way, if that Eagles defense is just as ferocious, I mean, they shut down Kansas City. So even if Dallas is elite, they might struggle on this opening night in Philadelphia. What do you like? Or maybe you just like an under and you think I'm totally in the wrong path. But do you like the full game total if we're only going to bet one of them? Full game over 47.5 or Philadelphia Eagles team total?
If I had to bet it, I'd probably take the Eagles team total, but I'm not taking any totals in this game.
No, of course you're not, but I'm going to. So, but I'll take your advice there. Let me see what the team total number came in at.
28.5.
You got 28.5. All right. Yeah. I'm pretty comfortable with that. Right. And you know what? I'm only worried. Boy, we don't do this in the NFL, right? Do you think we get one superstar subtraction NBA style game out of this Dallas defense?
See,
after being told all week that they're not going to be good without Micah.
Yeah, but they didn't think they were giving him up. So is it going to be the spot where the guy gets traded like when Luka got traded and everyone was just shell shocked because he wasn't supposed to leave? So I think it can go both ways, and I don't want to get in front of that.
Yeah, Dallas giving away two. We overuse the word generational, but 2 all-star MVP candidate players over the last 12 months. Tough time to be a Dallas fan. Now you know how being a Sacramento Kings fan feels every single day of my whole existence. Let's move on, Tyler. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to be in Sao Paulo, Brazil, They're laying 3 against the Los Angeles Chargers. Totals 45.5. Tyler, I didn't like this Brazil game earlier when we did this last year. And I'm glad I didn't bet it because I got it wrong. I was leaning under in that game. Do you remember? I believe it was the Packers and the Eagles. Jordan Love got injured. And, boy, remember, right, the Eagles squeaked out the victory. I want to say 33-29. I know it went over fairly easily, but there's just – we talked about good spots on the board, and I think these international games are so tough to handicap. This is actually the game I have the least amount of conviction on. What are you looking at? How are you feeling on this one?
I don't know if I'm reading this wrong, but I feel like I'm different than a lot of people on this Chargers team coming into this year. The more I look at that defense, the more I just don't think it's good at all. They lost their nose tackle, Poona Ford. He's now a Ram. They lost Joey Bosa, who was, he's old and he was always hurt, but he was one of their better guys. The only guy they brought back was Khalil Mack. Their corners weren't good.
He's pretty old now, too.
Yeah, so it's like Derwin James is the only guy on this defense, and he's another guy that's always hurt. It just feels like the Chiefs kind of just do what they want in this game, probably spread. Like it's just a normal Chiefs game. It's -3. They probably win by 1 or 2. It's a divisional game. But here's what I was looking at. The Chargers gave up 4.6 yards per carry on average last year. They lose their nose tackle. They lose Joey Bosa. They don't really do much to replace them. And now they're going to play Kansas City in week 1. These anytime touchdown lines just feel wrong. Pacheco +195, Kareem Hunt +330. You just bet them both and cover yourself. I think that one of those running backs probably finds the end zone in this game. At some point,
my only counter to you is Harbaugh, a White Tomlin, where he just gets everything he can out of a group of average players.
But this is below average spread. Like,
I'm all for Charger slander, dude.
Like, listen,
sign me up.
On their defense, they're Deshaun Hand, Pierre Tart, Audio Ogbanina, Tului Tupulau, I don't know how to say that Hawaiian name, Henley, Denzel Perryman, Khalil Mack, Dante Jackson, who played for the Steelers last year, was absolutely horrendous, Derwin James, Alohi Gilman, Cam Hart, Tareeb Still. Do any of those names make noise in the NFL? No.
Perryman did 4 years ago.
Exactly.
Khalil Mack did 4 years ago. Yeah.
I think Kansas City, like, this is Kansas City.
Talk to me about this total, 45.5. Last year, I was convinced that this international game was going to go under and that these teams were going to try and get in and get out, and that the majority of the game would be played on the ground. Instead, we had an old-fashioned shootout here. Like I said, this is my least favorite game to handicap this week, but just for fun, if someone in the chat is doing a parlay and they're doing every single side and total on the board, would you go over and under here? Because I'll tell you what, being so wrong last year on my prognostication of this game is kind of making me hesitant to choose a side.
I think I'm going to go over.
All right. Yeah, I mean, Kansas City's been
I think the Chiefs get close to 30, and at that point, Chargers don't have to do much to help you.
Yeah. All right. Great point. A good thing Jake Felix Castro is not in the chat. He would not be happy with Mike Robb right now, who says the Chargers have a one-eyed running back. I'm not big on their offense to start. Well, we know who wasn't a fan of Pirates of the Caribbean, Mike Robb.
Do we think they use Kelsey a bit more with Rice suspended for now?
I mean, I guess
46.5 on his yard seems pretty low.
I don't know.
You heard what's going to be trying to cover him spread.
I guess, but I just, at this point of his career, I mean, if his name wasn't Travis Kelce and we just watched the tape, what would we think of the guy? I mean, we're going off 2 years ago results. Last year was terrible.
Me and Ked
2 years ago, it wasn't even good in the regular season.
We're talking about this. Like, I don't think he's going to be as bad as last year, but I don't think he's going to be as good as he was 2 years ago.
Well, he's never going to be that good again.
Now, do you remember those old Jason Witten years in Dallas when, he wasn't the down the field threat anymore, but he'd catch you some touchdowns. He'd be wide open here and there and get you 20 yards on a catch, but he wasn't fast. I think that's what Kelsey's going to be this year.
All right. Okay, you're a bigger believer in Kelsey than me. I mean, I I don't know if we drafted him, but I know in my personal drafts, I did not take one share of him. If there's a big Kelsey year, I will not be listening to Taylor Swift. Let's talk about your favorite team, Tyler, even though you seem to hate them. Interesting relationship. I hope you're talking to your therapist about that. The Pittsburgh Steelers are -3 in New York, taking on the Jets, total of 39. Tyler, you know what I hate betting on? Mike Tomlin is a favorite.
I don't want anything to do with this game spread. Look at this game and look at all the narratives you can build here. Rodgers versus the Jets. Fields versus the Steelers. Like, there's all these different things you could build. Tomlin is a favorite. I don't want to pick a side in this game. I will take a piece of Rodgers to throw an interception at +108, though. That seems like a nice spot to be after the way he looked last year. He didn't look bad, but he threw a lot of picks. So I'll go with that. I mean, looking through the props, because I'm not taking a side or a total in this game.
I would take the under. If you force me to bet this game, under 39.
Yeah.
And I'll bet you the thing is 37.5. So you like the under bet it now.
Don't hate that.
Would you say Jaylen Warren? I'm sorry, I was talking over
you.
Yeah,
19.5 on his receiving yards. I don't hate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is going to be
you sent that to me. Caleb Johnson's number 3 on the depth chart. What's up with that?
Because he can't pass block.
Yeah.
He missed one assignment. Rodgers said, yeah, you're not playing until I leave.
All right. Jaylen Warren drafters are pretty happy because he could be one of those late round backs that, could be the difference in your season. Yeah, I don't have a lot on that game. And we're already 36 minutes in and we're only on our third game. So let's just keep it moving.
There was going to be a skip eventually, and that's probably the one to skip.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Miami Dolphins. They're a pick 'em right now against the Indianapolis Colts. A total of 47 here. Daniel Jones making his Indianapolis debut. Who knows what's going on down there in Miami? Definitely seem to be some chemistry issues. It's pretty hot here, but Mike McDaniel really has the hot seat there in Miami. Do you think the Dolphins can alleviate some of that heat for their head coach, or does Shane Steichen pull another miracle at home?
I'm rolling with the Colts here. I think that they're just in the better spot right now.
Their defense is way better.
A-Chain's banged up. The Colts defense is better. Miami's defense is terrible. Another defense we could talk about we're going to target a lot this year is Miami. So, and they don't have a really good run defense. And the Colts came out and said today, their team goes as Jonathan Taylor goes. Give me the over on that 78.5. He's going in the end zone, and they're going to win this game on his back.
Yeah, we're on lockstep there. I like the Colts. Not that I really like the Colts. I just want to fade Miami. I think the McDaniel magic is worn off. And I'm sure some of the offensive players like him, but I think for the most part, the team doesn't have respect for him. And they're just it's just a party down there. The Carolina Panthers, Tyler, this is an underdog that I really like. The Carolina Panthers taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, Liam Cohen could potentially turn around this team, but the Panthers have more continuity. They're building up a strong end of their season. I got to like what Canales is doing with Bryce Young. Tet McMillan was a huge addition. They made some additions to their offensive line. The defense got better as the year went on. I'm splitting this one. I'm going half on the +163 and half on the +3.5. If this was, all those week 1 upsets weren't fresh in my brain, maybe I would have just sat there with the +3.5 only. And maybe, if you don't believe in the Panthers as much as I do, but there's no way I'm laying 3.5 with the Jaguars to open the season with a brand new head coach whose chin is like behind his Adam's apple. There's no way.
Yeah, I don't got much take on what the guy looks like, but I'm rolling with you.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't do that.
I'm on Carolina.
His dog is not left.
Oh no, he ain't going nowhere. He lives with you now.
I gave him steak on 4th of July.
It's not even a dog; it's a skinwalker.
No, it's a pit.
But yeah, I'm rolling with you on Carolina. I think they have the better defense. I think they have the better quarterback. They have the better coach.
Ooh,
I think they're the better team. In our quarterback rankings, I had to reach back and grab them just to make sure I had Bryce at 20 and Trevor Lawrence at 21. So when we did them, that's where I was at. I think he's better than them. I think they're going to win this game. I think they're going to be a little better than people think. We
need a little sound effect for our little upset special because
everyone last year, I heard some people trying to take the Panthers to win the division last year and stuff like that at the huge number they were getting. I think they were 1 year too early. I think this might be the year where it's like, oh, Tampa Bay's got 8 wins. Atlanta's hanging around with 7 or 8, and so's Carolina. So it's going to be a fun race to see who gets his NFC South. And I think Carolina starts off 1-0.
All right. I'm pretty big on the Atlanta Falcons to win the NFC South. Basically because of the number. We're just picking them. Obviously the Buccaneers are the smart pick, but I think they have just as good a chance as Tampa Bay. And you're getting 2-1 rather than just
on the Falcons?
A little plus 110. Yeah, the Falcons were around plus 190 when we did the show last week.
If you want to have some fun, Carolina's 440 spread. I think that's a little too much
fun. I'm Team Penix over here, right?
Yeah, but telling you, Bryce is coming.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you believe in Bryce, and I'll tell you what, that would be a great story after he was being compared to Jamarcus Russell when he got benched early in his second season. The New York Giants are +6, Tyler, against the Commanders. Total is 46. Tyler, I'm not doing the money line here, but just give me the points. The Giants have kept it close against the Commanders in both games last year, and I think this Giants team is better. I like the addition to the defensive line. I hate to say it, but I think Russ is better than DJ. Another year of Malik Neighbors, and of course, Meg would just rip us off the air right now if I didn't mention how good that running back room is gonna look with Cam Scata. Boom! Give me the points, Tyler. I don't think they get it done though. I just think it's a close, hard-fought division battle. Give me the +6. Your thoughts?
I think they might get it done, spread. I think this might be the survivor pool buster. Like this could be a weird game. You just think about it. Like Washington, they're bringing in Debo. Terry McLaurin hasn't been there all offseason. I got a dog going crazy upstairs, but Terry McLaurin hasn't been there all offseason because he's been dealing with the contract dispute, so he wasn't practicing. Austin Eckler's going to start at running back, so I really don't think their running game is going to have much going. I don't think they're going to really use Kortski Merritt this early. That leaves Chris Rodriguez. I don't see it. I think I'm going to roll with the Giants on the points, and I think I'm even going to take some of the money line.
Ooh, they kept
it close last year with the quarterback play they had. Yeah. And they're another upgrade.
It was a 3-point win and a 5-point win, if I remember.
Yeah, no, they're upgrading the Russ.
Or Commanders. Yeah, I agree. And I think Abdul Carter is going to mean more than you realize. I mean, what was the Philadelphia Eagles game plan? And how did they basically win the Super Bowl? What did the New York Giants do the 2 times they won the Super Bowl? Then they got a cool 7 players behind, but that front 4 was ferocious. Yep. And I'm seeing that again right now with the New York Giants. Tyler, this is a game that I don't think I'm going to get involved with. We're targeting dogs here in week 1, but this one might just have too many fleas for me. The Cleveland Browns are +5 at home against the Cincinnati Bengals. Total is 47.5. We talked at the top of the show how the biggest upset of week 1 was the Cincinnati Bengals falling against the New England Patriots. They can't make that mistake again, right, Tyler?
What was that spread? I'm sorry, I was typing something.
That's fine. Bengals -5. I'm just saying after last year they got
that mistake again. Yeah, the only thing that worries me is Cleveland usually plays them very tough. Like this is their little division rival that always plays them tough, regardless of how good either team is. When Cincinnati was making Super Bowls, I'm pretty sure you can go back. I'm pretty sure they lost the game to Cleveland that year. So It's just a weird matchup. Joe Flacco's gonna air the ball out. I don't hate taking some shots on Jerry Jeudy or Tillman at their yardage because they're low, but I think Cincinnati should win this one by a touchdown or more. Like I think they start off hot this year. They know they can't start slow.
So I think that we both lean Cincinnati, but it's not going to be on our sheet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. We've already picked out some dirty dogs here. We don't need to go too far. We don't need to, the Cleveland Browns are the dog pound. We don't need to be the full dog pound. Tyler, talk to me about your favorite team. I got a little hint in the DMs this morning. Tell me more about why you think the Las Vegas Raiders have a good chance to be another underdog that scores an upset this weekend.
I mean, it's just a matchup where you get new coaches on both sides. You got Geno Smith coming in for the Raiders on the other side. They have some weapons on that offense too. The neither defense really impresses me. They have their little pieces, Max Crosby, Christian Gonzalez, and these guys, but I just think it's going to come down to offense and the quarterbacks. And as of right now, I think you guys have the better offense and the better quarterback.
Yeah,
so,
I think the Raiders offense is way better than the Patriots offense, and I think the Patriots defense is way better than the Raiders defense. And if this was 1989, I would take the better defense, but this is 2025.
Yeah.
And these rules are slanted towards offense. And, I think that's how you need to handicap. And I do think it's kind of tough. I almost like Vrabel May as a head coach, quarterback combination a little better. But are we factoring in experience and the fact that this will be their first time working together? And, Pete Carroll, Geno Smith, you say it's a new head coach, but they've worked together.
Yeah, they've been together. So they can run the same stuff. I think they can win this one outright. And we talk about Foxborough being a hard place to play. It's the middle of September. It's still going to be warm. Yeah. Unless there's rain, which I will pull up weather right now.
Raiders have a lot to prove, and Pete Carroll has traditionally done well on those 10 a.m. or 10 a.m. for us. 1 p.m.
So I think it's a good spot to take the Raiders here.
All right.
And it is not projecting rain. No, slight chance of showers, but no wind. So I like Geno there. Played in Seattle. He dealt with rain before.
Mike Robb wants to know, is it true that my first bet was on Babe Ruth's first at bat? No, first bet ever was a Honus Wagner strikeout prop, Mike Robb. A Honus Wagner strikeout prop. Let's move it on. Arizona Cardinals -6.5 in New Orleans taking on the Saints. Total is 43. I want to take the Cardinals here, but we don't want to take favorites in week 1, so I'm staying away from this one. If you force me to play it, or we're doing the pick 'em pool where you pick every game against the spread, I'll take the Cardinals because I think the Saints are going to be that bad. But, I mean, a 4 or 5 point win, that seems possible to me. And it could be one of those games we talk, backdoor cover, not really even close the whole time. What do you think about the Cardinals and the Saints? I mean, the Cardinals are better at every aspect of the game.
I legit think this game goes one of two ways spread.
Okay.
Either the Cardinals win this game by 20-plus points or they lose it outright. I don't think there's any other way this game goes. I think you're going to say
late because I think that's way more plausible.
If this game slow and they let the Saints stay in it, I could see the fans in that stadium making it very tough for the Cardinals to win that game. One bad turnover and it turns into points, and now they're in shambles. So I'm staying away from this game as a whole, but it just smells like the Saints.
I mean, to me, I've said this all offseason. I believe the Saints were setting up for Arch Manning. How do you think they felt watching that game on Saturday? We gave up our season for this.
one little all right, Arch, it's okay. You know who the defensive coordinator for Ohio State is, right?
Remind me.
Patricia. Now think of the quarterbacks Think of the quarterbacks that man's had a game plan for, and now he has to go play a college kid. Yeah,
who is
college kid?
He's had some playing time before. He might even have to start before, but really not a lot. And it's almost like LeBron James level of expectations.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone's just writing him in. It's like higher than Trevor Lawrence.
And it was also in Ohio State, so you were in enemy territory versus a notoriously good defensive coordinator at the next level. And he's coordinating at college. Yeah, it was not a place he was probably going to.
Does Ohio State play North Carolina at all this year?
I don't think so, but I would be surprised if Arch Manning goes for 5 touchdowns this week.
All right, let's talk about another underdog that I absolutely love. Tyler, I told you earlier in the show, I like the Atlanta Falcons to win the NFC South, and I like them to start their season right against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're catching 2.5 at home. I love taking the 2.5 here. Totals 47.5. I love what the Falcons did this offseason, actually addressing their defense. They kept drafting running backs and tight ends and wide receivers in the first round. They had a terrible defense. Desmond Ridder, they're giving him all these weapons. He couldn't use them. Now they have a real quarterback in Michael Penix, and the defense is going to be so much better. They're at home. They're in a dome. Even if the Falcons weren't good, you're always looking at the home dog in this situation. Because we know how these NFC South teams go. The Atlanta Falcons did win both games against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last season, so they have had success against them. Raheem Morris obviously knows how to go against Todd Bowles. Talk to me here. I love the Falcons plus 2.5, and I'm putting the money line too.
I don't mind that shot. I'm probably going to stay away from a side in this one just because this is one of the ones that I think it's honestly pretty much a coin flip. I think both teams, like you said, I think Atlanta's live to win the division. I don't think they're much worse than Tampa Bay. They might even be even. I don't want to lay points, and I don't trust Atlanta just yet to get on them. But I lean that side with you, and I think that's the right side to be on, but I'm staying away. I need to
Tyler, you want to know the easiest bet of NFL week one?
Let me hear it.
Drake London over 71.5 receiving yards.
That's not a bad one.
I'm not going to be at the prop party on Friday, but write me in for that one. Bro, he averaged 117.5 yards per game in the 3 games that Penix started.
Yeah,
46 more.
If Penix is half
that's
of
the
what we
best bet
think he is, if Penix is half of what we think he is, the London hype is going to pan out.
Yeah, I love grabbing Drake London in these drafts all summer, and I think he's got a great chance here. So give me the Falcons there. But like I said, if you're, you don't want to bet all these games, we keep giving out pick after pick. My favorite Drake London to go over his receiving yards. Let's move into the afternoon slate. Tyler, what do you guys call it on the East Coast? Is it still the afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, it's 4 o'clock slate. That's what we call it.
It's not like the twilight slate. All right.
No, we call it the 4 o'clock slate.
Got some vampires. We got some vampires running around there. What were the teams in Twilight? I can't remember. Wasn't it like team so and so? I don't know what guy. I don't know.
I just know there were wolves and vampires. I couldn't tell you the team names. Yeah. I watched that movie one time in high school. I remember.
I've never watched it. Yeah, Mike Robb can probably help us out. Let's. He seems like a big Twilight guy. Let's talk about the Tennessee Titans that are catching 8 against the Denver Broncos. Once again, I told you I'm targeting underdogs in week 1, but this isn't one that I want to target. However, if you made me choose, I'm not laying 8 with Denver. Like, I understand they're the better team, and Bo Nix, I was so happy to get that little victory lap last season. But what I said was he was a pro-ready quarterback. I don't know how much he improves from here on out. I think there'll be a little bit of improvement, obviously, with the experience, and I think that the team got better, which will obviously help the statistics overall. But, I thought that he had the highest floor and the lowest ceiling of anyone there. What do you think here? If I was forced to play it, I'm taking 8 with the Titans. But just like you said, I could see them losing by 20 in that Saints game.
You think you're getting a 17?
I don't know.
I don't
turn down your UFC fighting. I can hear it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all good.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting to 17. So that 16.5 interests me. If I can find a 17.5, I'd really like that.
But, and you're not allowed to buy points on those, right?
No.
On the same game parlay, can you? Like, why wouldn't you do under 17.5 and add it like a Sutton prop? Because I don't know what running backs we want to target there, or a Bo Nix rushing prop.
So we can go under 17.5 at minus 154. Yeah, then we only need one other leg.
I would grab either. What do you think, chat? I would go either Sutton receptions, Sutton receiving yards, or Bo Nix rushing yards.
I got you right here, spread. You want to hear this one? We're getting the first leg out of the way real quick.
Okay.
Tennessee first drive result, punt.
Okay, sounds good.
So punt and under.
I think that's a tough defense to play in your first start in the NFL.
And you're in Denver at altitude. Like, yeah. Give me the under 17.5. Give me the first drive punt that gets you plus 185. I will gladly take that.
Let's just keep it there.
You either lose that bet on the first drive, or you have the 17.5 ticket at plus 185 in your pocket.
Yeah. Let's see a guy. FK Coolers in the chat. I think somebody was setting my guesses if Denver is handling their business this game, Knicks won't really need to run a lot. So Coolers likes the Sutton prop more than the Bo Nix prop. Let's keep it moving, Tyler. I would play the under 42.5 though there, because I think if Denver gets ahead, there's just going to be the old school rushing game.
Yeah.
No. No, I agree with what you're saying on why, if you do choose Sutton or Nix, that you made a good point there. And why would I want to? If Nix goes down, their season's over. So you think you do have a good point. Yeah. No, Meg agrees there. Game script matters. Game script for the San Francisco 49ers heading to Seattle. Tyler, I wrote this up yesterday. It was 2.5 down to 2. Market agrees with me. I like the Seahawks here. I like the Fighting Sam Darnolds. Tell me why I'm absolutely wrong.
I mean, it's Sam Darnold.
I put it on the tee for you.
It's Sam Darnold spread. Like, my worry is though, is like, it's the Niners. It's the quotes that came out of Kyle Shanahan being like, he's there. This is like our old team. We had to rebuild. But I just don't think it's like that. I think they can beat this team rather easily. I think Kittle's number's low at 62.5 because he's going to be wide receiver 1 next to Pearsall. And they're going to use CMC, and CMC's touchdown is minus 145 spread. That thing was minus 300 last year and the year before that.
Do you remember 2 years ago when his 2 touchdowns was like minus 105?
And then his 3 touchdowns was like 8-1.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's
the only thing I would counter with is just like you talked about the Browns and the Bengals. Like these teams always are close. Unfortunately, like 2.5, I know 2.5 to 2, but with the way these 2-point conversions have been going and teams going for it all the time, boy, and I think it'll bounce back to 2.5, don't you? Like if you like the 2.5, like I did, I say just
I
wait
see
a little
2.5 on this,
but that's not going to. Okay, I got 2 offshore, but it's minus 103. But obviously, we're going to leave this one off the card because we disagree. And I'll tell you what, out of all my dogs, I don't know. I think I like 4 that we mentioned earlier. Like I like the Falcons more. I like the Raiders more. I like the Giants more. I like the Panthers more. Yeah. So
I agree.
Yeah, Justin, I lived in California. I can't use DraftKings and FanDuel and stuff. Sweet Jesus, we have beautiful weather out here, Justin. Where does Justin live?
I couldn't tell you.
Like Virginia, right? He's sitting there in 90% humidity, making fun of me for being
He's got to be
offshore.
Virginia or like DC area, so
yeah.
he's a Commanders fan.
Good to see you, Justin. Maryland. All right. A big Terrapin fan there. How about this one before we move off the Seattle game? Does Cup over under 3.5 receptions seem a little low to you? I know he's old and not the same, but still, especially Tyler, for your game script, if the Niners do blow him out, they should be throwing a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that. I just hate their quarterback and everything about their team. So,
you hated their quarterback
can't.
last year, and Jefferson still put up huge numbers. Like quarterbacks can still feed.
Yeah, but I
still
never.
got numbers.
Here's my thing though: is you want to know what happened when I bet Jefferson props?
Yeah, you got screwed because you didn't listen to me. Yeah.
So I don't bet weapons for Sam Darnold. I just don't.
2 slots, 1 cup. We'll see how it works out. The Detroit Lions are plus 2.5. They're in Green Bay taking on the Packers. Totals 47. That's an old school internet throwback right there. I like the Packers in this one, Tyler. This is one of the ones I'm not taking the dog. I'm a fade Detroit Lions outdoor. Plus, they have the new coaching staff. Packers are going to be fired up with Micah Parsons. Give me Green Bay, dude. What are your thoughts?
You want the easiest bet of the fucking week spread? Excuse my language.
Micah Parsons to get a sack?
No. What would you set Matthew Golden's yards at?
93.
48.
Yeah, easy.
Easy as it gets. Easy.
Is there some snowstorm we don't know about?
Yeah, like let me double check the weather. No, yeah, 1% chance of showers. So I mean, maybe, but 48.5 way too low. Jaden Reed is still banged up. I don't even know if he's gonna play in this game.
I don't think he is.
It's 48.5 for a wide receiver 1 is way too low. I'm playing the alt game here, spread 50 plus 100, 60, 140, 70, 210, 80, 310, 90, 430, 100, 630. We've seen how he runs and how he takes these deep routes. Like he could easily go deep and have a 60-yard catch for us. So that's where I'm at. As for the side, I think I do agree with you, though. I do like Green Bay.
This is one of the few favorites that I absolutely love this week. I mean, it just feels like everything's aligning. And even if these coordinators do an excellent job, I don't know if it's just seamless like we think. And over the summer, and boy, I think I'm maybe just a sucker for coach speak, but I've done 180 on Ben Johnson. The guy's a stud. I love the way he talks football. I can see why he was the most sought after coordinator. And now that loss. And you remember beforehand, and I haven't lowered Aaron Glenn at all. I thought that Aaron Glenn was a better coaching prospect. So I'm really high on Aaron Glenn too. We saw this with the Eagles before, man. And Dan Campbell's a way more badass version than Sirianni. But I think there's going to be some growing pains there in Detroit. So I want to just smash this Packers game. I hope the Lions look terrible and then I want to bet them at their first game at home because once they get back in that dome, I think it's going to fix everything. But I love
agree.
fading the Lions outdoors.
I'm with you. I think Green Bay starts off 1-0. Big Matthew Golden fan week 1.
All right, Matthew Golden and the Packers. I mean, if I had to choose, I would take the under, but there's so many better bets on the board this week. Let's talk about Matt Stafford. I thought my back was bad, Tyler. I thought my back was bad. What do you think, dude? Is this all subterfuge? How do you think Matt Stafford's going to do, dude? I like the points here again. I think at this point of their career, CJ's better. And I love that everything that Houston did this offseason to address all their weaknesses as far as the middle of that defense and the middle of the offensive line. I give me the +3 here. What do you think?
I'm with you. And what's one thing you don't want to play when your quarterback's got a bad back? Probably some edge rushers like Will Anderson and Daniel Hunter. So they're gonna be in that backfield and he ain't gonna be able to move. I'm not 100% sure the dude's not one hit away from just being done, spread. Like one bad hit to his back, it could just be over. So it's gonna be tough to bet this team all year. Like,
do we think that we're looking at maybe some Kyron Williams props? Because I mean, if we know that, McVay obviously knows that too. You got to think he's already a run first type of guy.
Yeah, but here's the thing with Kyron Williams is
maybe we should do rushing attempts. You don't have to worry about it.
He scores a lot of touchdowns, but he does not get a lot of yards per carry. He is not a yard.
That's what I'm saying. We take rushing attempts.
That would be the only thing would be rushing attempts, and we're getting 16.5 on that. I don't hate it, but if they get behind, they're probably going to
love it. I don't know if they will.
I think they can.
All right. What do you think of this pick? Justin likes the Adams anytime touchdown.
I don't mind that. Literally the only worry for me is this game starts, Stafford gets sacked in the first quarter, and he doesn't get up.
Oh, but you remember that great chemistry that Jimmy G and Davante Adams had?
Yeah, they asked him about it in an interview. The guy looked like he had PTSD.
Davante Adams is not one to like kind of shy away from, he doesn't ride the company line. You do not want Davante Adams as your PR spokesperson.
No.
Yeah, the guy's honest to a fault, and he's not happy with the Rams' backup quarterback situation. Game of the week, Tyler, Baltimore Ravens, Buffalo Bills. Yesterday, when I bet this game, Bills were -1. I like the Bills then. Now it's a pick 'em. Why do you think the line moved towards the Ravens, and where are you landing here? I mean, to be fair, I think this is a fine game to just be an NFL fan. I mean, you don't have to bet every game, do you?
I mean, you don't.
Is there a huge edge here?
No, but I'm on the Ravens.
Okay, tell me why.
I mean, I just think they're the better team. I think they're better everywhere.
I think they are too, but they were the better team last year, and Buffalo advanced in the playoffs.
Yeah, because of one drop of a football. Let's not forget what they did to him in the regular season when they ran him right off the field.
That was week 4, and Buffalo was 3-0 coming into that game, and I believe Baltimore was 1-2. So it was the total, let down spot for Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm watching because my guy's fighting spread.
That's fine. I'm watching right now too because this is California and we have thunder right now, but I don't see any rain, and I'm hoping to get a fresh coat of rain on my yard here this afternoon. So, but Tyler, you're gonna have to pause it or something because you seem to be way more conviction about this game than I do.
I just think it's the Ravens are just a better team. Like, where are the Bills better at? I don't think their defense is better. The Ravens improve that. The Ravens have a better run game. They have a better pass game. They have a better quarterback. They have a better coach.
You know how much I love arguing with you on the show, but
I just think that, and it's also like, oh, you guys got lucky and beat us because our tight end dropped the football the one time he dropped it.
It's his first drop in his career.
I think they remind them right here and say, yeah, bro, remember what we did to you guys?
I got it. Bills have a better kicker.
We don't know what their kicker is right now.
I know, I'm just messing around.
That kid might be the next best thing.
All right, Tyler. Usually we skip the Monday night game, but we decided to combine the overreaction show and the betting card into one show this year because we ended up repeating ourselves a lot. As much as I like hearing my voice, others thought that it would be better this way. So we're going to go ahead and do Monday Night Football. The Minnesota Vikings, J.J. McCarthy, your favorite head coach of all time. You think that he's the second coming of Vince Lombardi. That's right. Kevin O'Connell will be there. The Chicago Bears are +1. It's basically just pick the winner here. Total's 44.5. What do you think, Tyler? What do you think? I think this is a tough one, man. I think this is a tough one. I lean towards the Vikings, but I'm just a Vikings guy.
I think I'm on the Bears.
Flores is like, what's up?
I think I'm on the Bears. I think they come out hot. I think they come out with some new plays. They're outdoors, which I don't think favors well for some of those Vikings guys. The Vikings defense really overachieved last year. I know Flores is a great coordinator, but the turnovers they got, the pick sixes, and all the touchdowns they scored, it's just, I don't think that they could replicate that. So I'm more on the Chicago Bears here. I think they're able to win it. And
that was an excellent breakdown with your eyes in the corner the whole time. All right, I'll let you watch your fight as I kind of take over and talk about the pros and cons of each team. As much as I do like the Vikings, of course, we have to consider J.J. McCarthy to be a rookie quarterback. Boy, let me see if I can fix my camera real quick. Nope. Come on, camera. All right, I guess it doesn't matter. Sorry, guys, I'm blurry. I don't know how that happened. Oh, maybe the thunder for my Starlink. All right. As much as I like the Vikings, and they definitely do have the better defense, J.J. McCarthy is a rookie. That could be tough. Caleb Williams in his second year. I can't wait to see what Ben Johnson can do with this guy. My concern, of course, is I think the Vikings have a better defense and a better run game. So Caleb's going to have to be really good for them to overcome. However, if J.J. McCarthy can't keep these drives going on third, he's going to have to convert third and medium, some third and longs. If he's not able to do that, then the Vikings rush game does not matter at all. So I don't love this game.
I don't love it, but I lean towards the Bears.
I guess I'll be an old man here, and if I had to pick, I'll pick the better rushing game and the better defense, and I'll take the Vikings. But I think there's about 12 bets we've already discussed that I like more than that. And, of course, the great thing about Monday Night Football is we have all week to think about it. So
we got all
sorry for not an in-depth breakdown on Monday night. But, of course, I do know a Bears fan. And he's going to be doing a show on the Fanspeak Network. Tyler, since I was late, I forgot. Let's go over this right now. We do have a great schedule this year. So, do you have the list of the schedule, Tyler?
I can get it pulled up for you. Give me one second.
All right, here we go. No, I got it. Mondays and Thursdays, Steve and Meg cover all things Degen. DraftKings DFS, Underdog Battle Royale, Monday Night Football, and Thursday Night Football props and parlays, respectively, for each day. So, hey, I know that our Monday Night Football preview was a little lacking. Meg and Steve will take care of that on Monday. The Saturday upload show, and of course, that will be for Substack members only, just $34.99 for the entire year. It includes NFL in-season content, bets, DFS, Battle Royale, and more. Link is in the show description. That's right. So that will be for subscribers only, and that will be a great time. When's Justin and Andrew's show?
Give me 1 second. I'll get that because it's in our Twitter chat.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I wasn't prepared. Well, I do know I wasn't prepared. I was late today. Anyways, Justin and Andrew will be doing Battle Royale content. And, of course, I'm sure they're going to watch this show.
It'll be Wednesday at 9:30 p.m.
Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Justin and Andrew will cover the Battle Royale, and they can critique our bets. Thank you, Kicks. Mike Robb, great to see you. As always, pointing out the Ravens have the cheapest beer in the NFL, but they will be playing in Buffalo. Hey, one thing you got to like about Buffalo, Tyler, what other fan base acts like they're WWE wrestlers?
That is great.
Well, they're who thinks? Can you imagine waking up in the morning, throwing on a bunch of face paint, throwing on a Bills jersey, and going to jump through a table
Yeah, you just jump through tables, jump right off the car, right through the tables.
Yeah, and right
And
now
you
they're not
gotta
even having
traverse through like
snow.
4 feet of snow half of the year to do it.
Yeah, and you don't have any snow to pad your fall. So that's it for us. My favorite bet of the week is the Drake London over on the receiving 71.5 yards. I would bet that one now. I mean, that has to go up. Who's betting under on that? Tyler, what's your favorite bet?
I'm gonna roll with that Matthew Golden over 48.5 yards.
All right. We both like some of these same receivers that we drafted all summer. So if you've been watching us, I guess these picks don't necessarily surprise you, but we appreciate the support. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate you subscribing to the channel. We appreciate you hitting the thumbs up, fanspeak.com. And it doesn't stop here. So Tyler, help me out. It's tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Best Coast time. Underdog Battle Royale. This is fanspeak.com.